We have a big game coming up next when they take on Stanford. Already South Carolina has played and beaten 4 top 10 teams, including Connecticut and Maryland most recently, and we are underway. Duke wearing the white trimmed in blue. Vanessa DeJesus, the only returning starter for this team, runs the point.
Well, right away, one thing that's important for Duke is the ball movement and player movement. The ball can't get stuck, and there they go with the 3 to start it.
Exactly what you said they needed to do this evening. When you look at the South Carolina starting 5, Letitia Amihere has been running the point. Number 15, there she is. A lot of length. There's backup point guard Raven Johnson, a freshman, also is out for the season with a bad left knee. So they are down to Amihere running the point. She will share that with Zaya Cook. Celeste Taylor, the transfer from Texas, frees herself of Beal momentarily and then missed the shot. How will they guard Boston? Amihere for 3, knocks it down. So much in her arsenal.
I mean, this is a player who came into South Carolina, had such great upside promise, has honed her skill set, her versatility. Dawn Staley loves her fearlessness. But look at her being able to knock down that 3-point shot, extending the range.
And she's 6'4", and in warm-ups today, we saw her almost dunk the ball a few times, and here she is bringing it up. Part of that versatility.
And Pam, 6'4" with a 6'10" wingspan. Ooh. It's a matchup nightmare, really, and you see Duke's playing this 2-3 zone. They're going to continue to try to limit the paint touch opportunities and force South Carolina to knock down threes.
Yeah, Amihere thought about it. Now they go into Boston, but it's picked off by Taylor. Another outside shot by DeJesus this time, and a good play by Balagoon to force the turnover. Took it away from Boston, who eventually comes up with the basketball.
Oh, and you see the length on display right there. Nothing easy from an interior standpoint.
Yeah, Duke definitely had at a size disadvantage. Jade Williams at 6'5", the tallest player out there. And you see Taylor fronting Boston.
Well, we're going to see Duke, when they're in this 2-3 zone, use those top 2 defenders in the 2-3 to come down on the post, to switch on-ball screens. They're going to have to cover a lot of ground. And
Boston just getting enveloped. Still trying to get her first look inside. She does have some diversity to her game now offensively. It's Amihere can't save it. Taylor picks it up. Swinging around, Lexi Gordon, who has played both at UConn and Texas Tech, with the miss. Like Jade Williams also has gotten her graduate, or is in graduate school, Boston. Now that's just nasty when someone with her ability can start hitting threes.
It is, and it shows the growth of her game. You know, not just the ability to hit a 15-foot jump shot, but now 3-point range. You have to guard her everywhere on the floor.
Has gotten herself into terrific shape during the offseason. That has helped, certainly. Taylor guarded by Cook, and double dribbles. This is a South Carolina team known for its defense and for Aaliyah Boston.
Well, every year Aaliyah Boston has added something to her game, and she is stepping up and knocking down the 3 with confidence. Look, it's tough when you're big. It's physical inside. You have to battle every single day. She's gotten herself in great shape. She's diversified her game. Now she stretches the floor. She's got the ability to take it off the bounce. And Dawn Staley talked about just her growth and development, and she's a worker. She wants it.
Boston gets another one. Let's go to Drea.
Well, Stephanie, I'm just thinking that if Aaliyah Boston can step out and knock down that top of the key 3-pointer, it's also going to open up the high-low pass down low, because the defense is going to have to extend and guard her. She might not need to hit as many threes if she's scoring down low, though.
Oh, no question. And when you have the ability to stretch the defense and you've hit one already, everybody is aware. Everybody is aware, and Dre is absolutely right. That's going to open up interior opportunities.
Yeah, it's scary. You have to guard her all over the floor now, and the offensive putback by Saxton. It's a 10-0 South Carolina run after Duke took the early lead. Stuck on that three by Balagoon to open things up. Now inside, Boston blocks.
Yeah, I think Celeste Taylor needs one more dribble to engage Boston. Get her another step.
Well, South Carolina scoring 10 straight points over Duke. But Kara Lawson, since she has come into Durham, starting to turn things around. We'll have more on that when we come back. In her second season in charge of Duke, this team 8-0 for the first time since the 2013-14 season, and 11 straight non-conference wins. It's been over 10 years since they have done that. And at number 15, highest ranking in almost 4 years. By far their toughest test tonight. They did have an impressive win over Iowa earlier this season.
They did, and you know, it's a mentality, it's an expectation. Kara Lawson comes into a program and expects her teams to compete at a high level, to play with pace and space. And these players, 7 new players that have transferred in, want to play that way as well. And the expectation level is to go out and to win every night.
Yeah, you know, Pam and Steph, I think it was really telling on what it means to play for Kara Lawson. When we talked to Lexi Gordon and Celeste Taylor, both of them said Duke wasn't really on their radar coming out of high school, but when they wanted to transfer, playing for Kara Lawson here was a big deal, and that was the selling point for them both.
Well, look, Kara Lawson's a player who's played at the highest level. She's coached in the NBA. You know, she's worked on our side. I mean, she's seen the game from every angle at the highest level. And players who want to be coached and players who want to be great want to come here and play for her.
And also was the 3-on-3 Olympic coach, USA winning that in Tokyo. First time it was part of the competition. Boston very patiently got the shot off. Victoria Saxton.
And that's what Aaliyah Boston does, right? She's double teamed, she uses her pivots, she stays poised, and because she brings 2 defenders, it opens up offensive rebound opportunities, and Victoria Saxton's one of the best in the country at crashing the glass.
Absolutely, and South Carolina, one of the best in the country. Their rebounding margin, plus 19 overall. Especially dangerous on the offensive glass. That was thrown towards the Geico zone. Not playing tonight.
Well, the activity level of Victoria Saxton, you see Aaliyah Boston draws 2. That means somebody's running loose. It can't be Saxton if you're Duke. You have to find her on that high post dive.
Saxton coming off a career high 7 offensive rebounds in the big win over Maryland a couple of days ago, including 2 big ones down the stretch when South Carolina pulled away to win it by 7.
And one of those off of a free throw, an offensive rebound off of a free throw,
now
just a hustle play.
As a head coach, would that drive you crazy?
Drive you nuts, yes.
But that's what Saxton does. Good look at her, one of the captains on this team, along with Boston. And now Duke has gone over 6 minutes without a point. They got that opening 3 from Balagoon, and since then they have missed 8 straight shots.
Well, Dawn Staley talked about Victoria Saxton and said, you know, we have a lot of glue kids, and she's one of them. You know, she's been 3 years as a captain. She's somebody who plays extremely hard, does all the little things, might not show up a lot on the scoreboard in terms of points, but everything she does impacts the ball game.
That steps by DeJesus. Yeah, I like what Dawn said. She said that they're practice players. She says, we have glue practice players, and she said that's part of the stickiness you need to put together a championship team. You need that glue to have good stickiness.
You do need that glue to have good stickiness, and it's important. Everyone that steps foot on the court to help you prepare to win championships is important, and when everybody's bringing it, there's a certain competitive level that you get better every day.
Camila Cardoso, number 10 in black, has checked in. The transfer from Syracuse. South Carolina hangs on to it. Cardoso was so terrific last year as a freshman at Syracuse. Had a 9-block game against Notre Dame, but kind of feeling her way into this lineup. Lee here with the miss. Now DeJesus kicking it out. Gordon missed everything. Boston chases it down.
Lexi Gordon's got to find her stroke for Duke. I mean, she started out hot this season, 16 made threes through the first 5 games and has struggled over the last 3.
And that is classic Aaliyah Boston. Got her own miss. Duke down by 11, facing right now their biggest deficit of the season. Yeah, in the last 3 games, Lexi Gordon only 28% from the floor. And that's gone down because she's 0 for 3 tonight. Here's another opportunity for South Carolina. They love to push it. Hey, who was defending Bree Beal? Air? South Carolina has ripped off 16 straight points. Timeout, Duke. Aaliyah Boston and South Carolina off to another great start. Boston already with 7 points and 5 rebounds in only 8 minutes.
Her activity level, and you see right there her efficiency. It's been well chronicled, her fitness journey, right? Like, she's in better shape, but it's allowed her to be more efficient. It's allowed her to get quicker to the basketball, quicker to offensive rebounds. I have noticed on film her passing is so much better. It's on point, it's on target, it has pace, she's got zip on the ball. You know, overall, she's just continuing to take her game to another level.
You know, Steph, everything you mentioned, Aaliyah Boston also told me, every single thing, but she also said that she mostly feels it on her post-ups. She said she used to get tired from having to work to get in position, and when she would catch the ball, she would have to catch her breath. Now she can work to get in position, stay on balance, and make a move quickly and not be tired at all because of her conditioning level.
Well, we saw an example of that, you know, one of the early possessions where she worked her pivots through a double team, and she was able to get a shot off.
Did some workouts with Tim Duncan during the offseason, and that is a foul that will send Rivers, Sanaya Rivers, a freshman from Wilmington, North Carolina, to the line. Fouled by Balagoon. But it's scary to think, as good as Aaliyah Boston has been, when you're a National Player of the Year, or National Freshman of the Year as a freshman, and was in the National Player of the Year, first team All-American, and then you just take your game to a whole nother level, and she's only a junior.
And she's only a junior, and Dawn Staley talked about, you know, when Aaliyah came to campus, she was just too nice, right? She was too nice, and you can see right there in the numbers just the overall improvement. Look at this three-quarter court sprint. I mean, running the floor, a rim run by Aaliyah Boston, able to establish low post position because she does her work early. Now being able to play at a high level for longer periods of time in the game. And you're seeing that dog in her. You're not seeing that nice Aaliyah Boston that came to campus as a freshman. You're seeing a competitiveness and a toughness every day.
You know, Steph, we've talked about her toughness and her physical improvements as far as Aaliyah Boston goes, but also her mental game. Even her freshman year, Dawn Staley told me that Aaliyah Boston is cerebral. She wants to know the why. She wants to know how the offense works, how the defense works. And Dawn also said that Aaliyah talks like an old man playing pickup basketball. She is always communicating. So it's not just physical, it's mental for Aaliyah Boston as well. Just a strong all-around player.
That's a great point. Talks like an old man.
I kind of wonder,
pick up basketball.
I'd like more specific examples.
Right.
Have to ask Dawn next time we run into her. Rivers just got 1 out of 3, and the ovation you heard was when Aaliyah Boston was taking a seat on the bench. Camila Cardoso picks up the foul, and it's Cardoso, the Syracuse transfer we just talked about. Dawn says she'd like to see more of a dog in Cardoso and not be so darn nice.
Yeah, she said the same thing. She comes in and she's just really nice. But I'll tell you what, going against Aaliyah Boston every day, she's going to learn what it's going to take.
Coming up Tuesday at 6 Eastern right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. How about the Huddle Bowl preview show? There are 10 ACC teams playing in bowl games. All the guys will break those down. ACC has sent at least 10 teams to a bowl every year since 2016. Check that out on Tuesday. Right, bowl season is coming. Christmas is coming. That means bowl season is
That's right.
right around the corner. Trying to get it into Cardoso off her hands. So Boston is out, and South Carolina so deep, and that was one of the big questions coming in, will continue to be a question. So how do you get all those players in there? How do you keep them happy? And Dawn Staley has talked about that, and you referenced earlier about the competitiveness and needing glue people, everybody buying in, and so far so good. Of course, winning helps,
winning does
right?
help. Yeah, winning does help. But Dawn mentioned, we have a lot of hungry veterans on our team who just want to win. And we have a lot of young kids who want time, right? Who want time. But you earn that time every day, and you learn what it takes, and you grow in a system, and that's what championship caliber teams do.
Last foul was on Rivers, her first. And another turnover. As the first quarter is coming to a close. Swing the ball over to Cook. That's a very chancy pass. Williams with the pick, and finally a relatively easy opportunity for Duke. Balagoon has 5 of their points.
Well, Dawn Staley's not going to be happy with that. She talked about the unforced turnovers, the decision making, valuing every possession.
It's just the 3rd turnover in this quarter. Duke has 5 turnovers and only 2 field goals, and another back-to-back now. Dawn's going to have something to say after the quarter. That one almost went in for Cheyenne Day Wilson, who is a terrific young freshman for Duke. You're looking at not 1 but 2 gold medal winning coaches from the last Summer Olympics. We will elaborate when we come back. South Carolina up 10. Number 1 South Carolina with a 10-point lead over Duke, and you were looking at gold medal winning coaches who had a connection together. Bottom left, there you go, Dawn Staley, an assistant on the 2008 team that won the gold medal with Kara Lawson, who I had a great gold medal game, did not miss a shot from the floor, and they both were gold medal winners this year. Kara with the 3-on-3 team, and we saw a shot there of the late great Ann Donovan, who was the head coach in Beijing. And Cheryl Reeve, congratulations, taking over for Dawn as the next U.S. national team coach.
Absolutely. Cheryl
Well deserved.
Well deserved, no question about it. Ann Donovan, I was fortunate to play for her with the Indiana Fever and continue a relationship with her as well. And, man, there are a lot of greats in that picture.
Absolutely, all-time Hall of Famers. Outside shot nailed by Destiny Littleton, the former Texas Longhorn. Pam Ward along with Steph White and Andrea Carter joining you. A couple of unbeaten teams, but as you see, Duke not shooting well. Worst first quarter shooting of the season. That's a good start to the second quarter by Balagoon, who hit the 3 to start the game for them.
And I like that horn set. It gives a little bit of a matchup problem for South Carolina, and putting Balagoon in there, somebody who can stretch the floor and knock that shot down.
Balagoon is the only Blue Devil who has hit a shot from the floor. Amihir, yes, she's playing point, but she can do that as well.
And that's the matchup nightmare of having Amihir at the point guard position. She gives it up, she goes down, she posts up, and uses her 6'4" frame and her length and her touch around the rim to score.
And she has been terrific. She's a beast in the weight room, too. Someone who looks slight is not. Very strong. Balagoon. Jesus, that's not a good switch for Duke with Cardoso out there on her. Shot clock dying. Day Wilson with the miss. Cardoso comes up with the rebound.
And watch Cardoso work right now. I mean, this is one of the points that Dawn Staley was making to us. She hasn't had to learn how to create position, how to do her work early, how to make a move and a counter move, because she's just always shot over the top of defenders. Right there working to get that position.
Amihir draws contact, gets her own miss. Shot clock resetting to 20 after a miss. Littleton just hit one from out there. And another offensive board. Lily Grisette, who is playing just her second game coming back from an injury in the SEC tournament, and South Carolina is owning the offensive glass. There's a walk right there, but boy, that just shows you that they're just ridiculous on the offensive boards.
I mean, and you can see the offensive rebounds just clicking and counting. There's Littleton right there coming in the game and making an impact, knocking down the 3, and Amihir using her size on the interior to score an easy 2.
They have 10 offensive rebounds, but have only scored 2 points off of those, so South Carolina not taking much advantage of that.
Well, Duke's been fortunate.
Yeah.
Because South Carolina has had a lot of easy opportunities that they have not capitalized on.
And there's a foul on Day Wilson. Yeah, it almost looked like when you're like at a gas pump and you see the dial going. We saw the offensive rebounds
go. We're showing
go.
our age right there, like the dial at the gas pump. It's all digital.
It's digital. That's
now.
what I meant. The digital readout.
Okay.
Is that better?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, not even close.
I'm just going to jump in here because
Yes, Drea.
I don't know what dial you two are talking about on the gas pump.
Thank you, Drea.
See, we're showing our age.
Oh, there's a pick-off. Lexi Gordon takes it. That's 6 turnovers now for South Carolina. You take a look at this lineup out there, a little mix and match, mostly bench players. Long three by Taylor. Celeste Taylor has yet to score.
And I believe that's her second field goal attempt. So Celeste Taylor's got to get some more looks at the rim. And one of the things that Duke does so well is they play that 5 out, and they play with great pace and space. And right now, their space is being taken away. You see them start to all condense around the lane instead of staying outside beyond that three-point line.
Shot clock into single digits. Beal lets it fly. Cardoso was held by Akinbody James, who picks up the foul for Duke. And here she is coming back in after a nice rest. Aaliyah Boston, who in 7 minutes of the first quarter had 8 points and 6 rebounds. Karen Prieto, Eric Bruton, and Pualani Spurlock Welsh, our officials this evening in Durham. Littleton, Day Wilson got to her a little bit too late. That's a couple of threes now for Destiny Littleton.
Well, we saw Duke going over that out-of-bounds play and shoot around today, and under no circumstances were they ever talking about leaving somebody wide open. And Destiny Littleton just had way too much space. You've got to chase. This is what she does. She shoots it. The miscommunication on the switch. She doesn't need a lot of time, and she knocks that one down.
Now they're tending to what we assume is blood on the jersey. It gives Dawn Staley a chance to call her team over. For Duke, Elizabeth Balagoon is 3 for 3. Everybody else 0 for 13. And we're 13 and a half minutes into this game.
Well, and Cheyenne Day Wilson is a player for Duke who can come in and give instant offense, and she's been quieted so far. Duke's going to need multiple players to start to catch fire.
It's a good look at the young Canadian from Toronto. She had 8 threes in a win against Troy, 8 of 10 last 3 games. How about 70% from 3, 16 of 23?
I mean, she can shoot the ball, and she can shoot it from anywhere in the gym. She's instant offense when she comes in the ball game. You know, this is a great opportunity for this Duke team. A lot of new faces. You know, a lot of players who have played in big games, but not with this same group, right? A great opportunity for them to see where they are.
And by far the best team they have played this year.
Just to go back to Day Wilson, as she knocks down the 3, it's almost perfect timing because I remember watching her in shoot-around today, guys. She had a stretch where she went 16 for 20 from beyond the arc, shot 80%, just catch and shoot. Looked like it was automatic, just like it did on that shot.
Yeah, and she was working on some of those actions right there, getting the ball back from a handoff, a little toss-back action. I remember watching her when she was playing AAU, and she was just explosive. She could score at will. You know, she's a player who can definitely fill it up. And we see right here, it's a little give and get back. That's tough to guard. And we're talking about 2 bigs right there trying to defend that with Saxon and Boston.
And she's listed at 5'6", which might be a little generous, but there's a lot of good young Canadian talent, and she certainly fits the bill.
Pam, you know everybody who plays the game adds at least an inch, right? At least.
It's those wedge sneakers, right? Is that? Akinbody James picked up a foul for Duke before that last play.
I'd like to know what Drea was listed as.
6'3". Drea played for the legendary Pat Summitt at the University of Tennessee.
Defensive stopper.
I did ask our SID guys, I asked him to list me at 5'10". I'm definitely not 5'10". I'm 5'8.5" on a good day, so we went with 5'9".
5'9", that was a little bit more realistic.
Yep.
Didn't want it to seem too outrageous. And me here loses the ball on the way in. Here comes Duke. There's Day Wilson. We just talked about her. Kicks it out. Oh gosh, and another travel.
And look, I think that's the confidence right there, or lack of confidence with Lexi Gordon, not spotting up and just taking that shot. But South Carolina on top, 25-12.
Let's get you back to Cameron, Pam, Steph, and Drea.
All right, thank you very much. And right now, South Carolina leading 25-12. Dawn Staley looking intense. And you take a look at the numbers. By the way, her 7 rebounds for Boston is as many as Duke has as a team. You see Duke not shooting the ball well. And as expected, Steph, they're getting pounded on the boards.
Yeah, I mean, South Carolina's just relentless on the offensive glass. 11 offensive rebounds for 12 second chance points. And, you know, fortunate for Duke that it's not more, because they've missed a lot of easy ones. And if you're Dawn Staley and you see that look, I mean, this is a team that's really trying to find their way. Drea mentioned it, no Destiny Henderson, who is the engine for this team, right? She's the one who controls pace. She's the one who gets them into offense. She's the one who gets them into a flow. A lot of weapons really trying to find that rhythm and gel on the offensive end of the floor.
Yeah, it's kind of scary that they're doing this, the success this season, without a true point guard out there. Raven Johnson only played 2 games, missing the rest of the season now with a hurt knee. Henderson did warm up today, not ruled out for this game, but we have not seen her play. This would be the 3rd straight game that she would miss. And now Carolina's gone cold. They've only hit one of their last 8, gone over 2 minutes without a point, but Duke can't hang on to it. 8 turnovers now for the Blue Devils.
Well, each time there's a touch in the short corner, that backside skip is wide open. And if you're South Carolina, if you can put Cook and if you can put Littleton both on that backside, you've got shooters that can knock that down.
And Cook hasn't done a lot offensively and threw it away. Taylor got in the path.
And that's her 3rd turnover. She had 2 in a row in the first quarter, and now that's her 3rd turnover.
Day Wilson drawing contact, going head-to-head against Littleton. That is the first on Destiny. Ruled a non-shooting foul.
And Pam, right now, Duke is just, their cuts aren't sharp. You know, there's not a lot of attention to detail, which is exactly what Kara Lawson preaches. Great screening, hard cuts, setting up your cuts. Right now, they're kind of just going through the motions. And sometimes this is what South Carolina does to you with their length, with their athleticism. And Drea was talking about it earlier today. You know, you get them to begin to feel a little bit robotic. Let's run the play. Let's go through the motions.
Shot clock is dying. Littleton, that was might have gotten a hand on that. And Coach Lawson must be pleased with this defensive effort. It's now been almost 3 minutes for Duke since they scored, almost 3.5 for South Carolina. Good crowd on hand at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Nice, strict COVID protocols as well.
Duke going back to that horn set, trying to get a little bit of action out of that. And see right there, another example on that fade screen. There's nothing set. Nobody gets loose. And then you have to try to make something out of nothing, as opposed to letting the offense really work for you by executing at a high level.
And foul underneath as Saxton was grabbed by Amaya Finkley, who is part of that mass exodus from Syracuse. Finkley, a grad transfer in the very prestigious Fuqua School of Business, and that's, you talk about wanting to come to play for Duke. I mean, that's a nice little carrot.
It sure is.
One of the best business schools in the nation. Boston has had to work for every inch of real estate. Now the hard post up. Littleton left open. That's her third three of the game.
And again, when you have to give Aaliyah Boston so much attention, everybody has an eye on her, everybody's collapsing when the ball looks like it's coming in, someone's going to be open. And for South Carolina, it's just finding that person, and Littleton has given them a lift off the bench.
It's almost like you just have to hope that they miss from out there. And there is Celeste Taylor's first bucket.
I mean, look, the reality is you got to pick your poison. Right. The reality is you got to pick your poison. And other players can step up like Littleton has and knock shots down. That's an added bonus for South Carolina.
Yeah, Taylor missed her first three, hit that one, and Dawn Staley has taken a timeout for the Gamecocks, who have only scored 11 points in this quarter.
The ball movement for South Carolina, Dawn Staley talked about it. She doesn't want the ball to stick. She wants to move it with a pass. And here you go, Bree Beal, one of the best at just knowing the right play. The extra pass to Littleton, her third three of the ball game.
Yeah, Beal certainly one of those glue players that Coach Staley talked about. Littleton has nailed 3 threes this evening, coming in only averaging 3 points per game. So this is a new season high for her. Had 7 in the opening day win against NC State.
And she's a player who didn't play in the last ball game against Maryland. Didn't get any minutes, but continues to work, come in and make an impact. Be ready when your number's called.
Ami here showing the athleticism on the alley-oop from Beal. Got fouled. Carolina has missed 8 of its last 10 shots, but Amihir heads to the line.
Well, South Carolina likes to run that little back screen lob out of the zone, and Amihir just elevates over the top.
Amihir's first trip to the free throw line from Mississauga, Ontario, right outside of Toronto. Really grown her game over the last couple of years, and being called on to play the point, now has 7 points. Taylor trying to go by Amihir, but Littleton stuck a hand in and forced the turnover. 10th turnover for the Devils. Boston trying to do the pick and roll.
Backside.
Wow, 3 players. Didn't look. She is bottled up. And South Carolina could not get off a shot. Great defense by Duke.
Yeah, really good defense, really good activity level. Aaliyah Boston couldn't see to make that pass in the backside, and just look at the high hands. I mean, it's so important when you come in a trap to have high hands to disrupt vision. And at the end of the possession, Boston found the backside, but it was too late.
Gordon and Finkley all over Boston. Boston guarding Day Wilson. Finkley might have gotten away with a step.
And look, if you're Day Wilson and they're going to continue to switch that on-ball screen, you're the one with the advantage with Aaliyah Boston guarding you. That is one of those situations where you might want to just clear it out and look to create. She doesn't necessarily have to score, but draw a secondary defender and find a drop-off.
Saxton got her own miss. Amihir left open. Now Boston gets it down low.
Too easy.
Yeah, once she gets it there, it's pretty much over, right?
If she gets 2 feet in that restricted area, it's over.
Boston's first bucket of this quarter. As the half comes to a close, South Carolina doubling up Duke, the #1 team in the country, trying to go to 11-0 on the season, leading at 32-16. The Blue Devils, South Carolina in the first half, only shooting 39% from the floor. See Boston and Littleton doing most of the damage. Duke shooting just 17%. In fact, Elizabeth Balagoon is 3 for 3 for them. The rest of the team just 3 of 18. So somebody has got to get it going offensively for Duke, and they need to hang on to the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Duke shot at 50% from the field in the second quarter, but they had 6 turnovers. That's 6 missed opportunities, no shots.
You know, you all are talking about the offense of Duke, and I talked to assistant coach Beth Cunningham coming out of halftime, and she said the same thing. She said she felt like in the first quarter they got good looks, but they didn't hit the shots they needed to get the momentum. So they need to do the same thing and knock down shots and play with confidence. On the defensive end, they have to box out. She said way too many rebounds and easy buckets for South Carolina. Game plan remains the same. Close down the paint and make them shoot outside shots, but she did say not if Destiny Littleton is on the floor. That was not the game plan.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly have to know where Littleton and Cook are at all times from the three-point line.
Celeste Taylor hit the shot on the other end for Duke. Easier said than done to try to keep them off the boards, especially, right? Because they are a tremendous rebounding team. Zia Cook getting the ball and hitting it, but maybe she misses Destiny Henderson more than others on this team.
I mean, I think so. Destiny Henderson knows how to get Zia Cook the ball in positions for success. I mean, so much about being a spot-up shooter and a catch-and-shoot player is getting the ball in a timely manner, getting the ball in a rhythm, and catching it in the shooting pocket.
And Destiny Henderson did warm up today, not ruled out, but has not played yet. On December the 21st, another big game. South Carolina is playing everybody this year. They have Stanford coming up, and possibly coming back then. Dawn Staley said she thought she would play before Christmas, and that's their last game before Christmas. So powers of deduction, I think Stanford is what they're looking towards. Cook with the miss, good rebound. Gordon. Again, 7 transfers on this team. Lexi Gordon is one of them.
Lexi Gordon has to feel good about that. She has struggled over the last few games from the three-point line, and Duke has to feel great because they need Lexi Gordon's offense.
Gordon missed her first 3 shots of the game before that one went in. Boston double-teamed right away.
And that's a growth right there for Aaliyah Boston. She doesn't have an out. She dribbles out, finds, and creates space.
Another offensive board by Saxton, who is just a demon down there.
Well, this is what Duke does, and when they're at their best, is they're knocking down threes, they're taking long shots, and Lexi Gordon, for her to find the bottom of the net has to be a really good sign. And Drea mentioned it. I mean, Beth Cunningham talked about the shots that they were getting. They were getting looks. Now, they're not getting a lot of in-rhythm cuts because of the physicality, and Muffet McGraw mentioned that at halftime of South Carolina.
Saxton goes to the line after being fouled by Williams. 2 college basketball games coming for you Saturday afternoon on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. On the men's side, it's Fairleigh Dickinson against #2 Virginia, and then Lehigh Syracuse. Check it out. In an afternoon of hoops, University of Virginia, Dawn Staley's alma mater.
I remember watching Dawn Staley and the Burge twins and Tammy Reese playing those Virginia days.
Tanya Cardoza.
Yes, Tanya Cardoza. Another one.
That'll get you heated up, Lexi. 2 in a row for her after struggling mightily the last 3.5 games.
You're going to see a little bounce in her step now.
Got it down to a 10-point advantage, but Boston was fouled.
Well, the ball movement and the player movement, 2 defenders go with the cutter, and Gordon's able to step up and knock that shot down.
Lexi Gordon started her career at UConn, played there for a 1.5 years, then went to Texas Tech. Sister Myra playing for the Alabama Crimson Tide now. And me here running the point for the 3rd straight game.
And that was an example right there, Pam. You see, she just didn't catch it clean, bobbled it.
Yep. Taylor in the open court. Oh, Gordon spotting up for three, and Karen Prieto, the official, got in the way.
Well, what a heads-up play by Celeste Taylor to try to find the hot hand.
It's a 12th turnover now for Duke.
But this is what Dawn Staley was talking to Drea about. See how the ball's just getting stuck? It's not moving. It's slowed down. They're not playing with that pace. And when she alluded to thanking Maryland, that is it. Maryland slowed South Carolina down and exposed some weaknesses. And here's the play right there. Celeste Taylor looking to find Lexi Gordon in the corner. Is that pass interference?
Yeah, it would be if it was football. Yeah, Prieto didn't hit the ball, but she impeded the forward progress of Lexi Gordon, who was unable to catch it. Williams working against Boston. Duke bench wanting a foul, but instead they say it's just going over if the ball hit at the top of the backboard.
Well, already we're seeing a lot more movement from Duke and a lot harder, crisper cuts on the offensive end. And yeah, they certainly could have called a foul on that possession.
Muffet McGraw making the point during halftime in the studio also about Duke not being able to cut cleanly, South Carolina bumping a lot of people when they were trying to get to their spots, just disrupting their offense, but that's what South Carolina does.
It is, and also she made a great point about Balagoon. Balagoon hit her first 3 shots and didn't really get a lot of touches the rest of the half, and you got to find the hot hand.
Yeah, in fact, got 0 shots off after hitting her first 3. South Carolina, meanwhile, has gone 3.5 minutes without scoring. Missing their last 4. It's a 6-0 Duke run. South Carolina has scored just 2 points in this quarter. Leela Goodchild coming in for the first time, one of the fan favorites, an Australian who had a terrific freshman year, hit 73 threes, the freshman who was from Australia. That's her freshman record. We've seen her playing time diminish. Oh my.
It's pretty, Pam. She steps into it with confidence, knocks it down, holds the follow through.
Got the pose going. Aaliyah Boston has hit both of her 3-point attempts this evening.
And look, we talk about picking your poison, and that's what you want Aaliyah Boston doing if you're Duke. Now, to Aaliyah Boston's credit, she's worked on it, and she will make you pay for it.
Hitting just 31% on the season from distance coming in. Gets her follow and is fouled, but Aaliyah 2 for 2 from beyond the arc this evening.
Well, fortunately for Duke, Lexi Gordon's heating it up, bringing them back in the ball game. 2 long-range threes, getting some confidence, closing the gap.
Affected by southern and Midwest tornadoes. If you would like to help, please visit redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover from this almost unthinkable disaster. Folks, Kentucky, Tennessee, Missouri, and Arkansas deeply affected by the storms, and about 250-mile width of that tornado. Just unthinkable.
Yeah, the incredible devastation, and certainly urge people, if you can, if you're capable, to donate.
And it's holiday season as well, as Aaliyah Boston hits them both at the free throw line. Aaliyah Boston, by the way, has South Carolina's only block of the night. They're averaging over 9 per game as a team, which leads the nation. And there's another turnover, 13th for the Gamecocks.
There's not going to be a lot of blocks when you're checking from the three-point line.
That's true.
But that's what South Carolina forces you to do. They force you to shoot a lot of jump shots, shoot a lot of threes, And that's that work early that we're talking about in the post. And look at the aggressiveness and quickness to the board.
And then she reposts, draws 3 defenders.
Yes, yes, good extra.
Cook aggressive to the bucket, a little bit too strong. Rebound belongs to Akinbody James. There's another block.
There's another one.
She's doubled her output.
And that's a good drive by Celeste Taylor. You know you're going to get the rotation. You know the shot blockers are coming. Now can you find the next pass?
Day Wilson has had trouble getting her shot off tonight. Another giveaway. Beal waits for help. South Carolina right now playing kind of a 4-out offense with Boston working hard on the post, and Eric Bruton has spotted a foul. This is the 3rd foul on Akinbody James, who exits right now for Duke along with Celeste Taylor.
Nice cut.
Beautiful. But Cook headed off at the pass by Finkley.
Yeah, Zia Cooks continued to struggle on the offensive end.
A little bit too strong for Balagoon. That's her first miss of the night. And here took steps.
And to Drea's point, when talking to Dawn Staley about the offensive flow, I mean, that's an example right there. The ball gets passed a couple of times, back up, and then it's stuck. You know, 3, 4, 5 seconds, and defenses can adjust. Defenses can move and get set when that happens. Your advantage is to keep that thing moving and keep defenses in scramble mode.
So to get unstuck, just keep passing the ball?
It's good to be stuck when it's a glue thing.
Right.
So much
sticky.
Yes.
Sticky is good, stuck is bad.
Yes, exactly.
Me here. That's a tough shot. It went in. How good is she going to be?
Oh, she's going to be incredible. I mean, the balance, the body control, and the experience that she's getting right now running point.
Showing her versatility. Bank shot good by Day Wilson. Beal able to keep it alive, but Goodchild, terrific hustle. Day Wilson gets a little bit of a screen from Finkley and then challenges Aaliyah Boston. How about that?
Watch out if she gets going. Instant offense. She uses her body to shield the defender.
She has just been shooting lights out in the last 3 games, finding it tough going here, but she went right at Boston, who's about a foot taller than her. Beal got a block by Finkley. Littleton literally put Balagoon on the floor and then got fouled closer to the basket.
Well, Cheyenne Day Wilson is instant offense, and look at how she just plays with him right here. See how she uses her body to shield the defender, and the ball in the outstretched left hand, so she can't get a piece.
I really enjoyed talking to Coach Kara Lawson about Cheyenne Day Wilson. Coach said she never had a conversation with Cheyenne on what they need from her. She just said, you don't need to tell her to come in and change the game. That's what she automatically does when she gets in. She's looking to attack, looking to score and bring energy.
That's right. You know, there are players who just have a knack for offense and have a knack for finding scores. And she's one of them. She can score in bunches, but she's also a willing and great passer, so she's a playmaker for herself and for others.
Leading scorer among all freshmen in the ACC from Toronto. Littleton 1 out of 2 on the line after being fouled by Finkley. side. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Taylor from distance.
Yeah, the player movement, the off-ball screening action, the off-ball cuts. They're now starting to get Duke a little bit of space, a little bit of time.
Duke is a team that relies heavily on the three. That's only the third one that they've hit.
And they got a little bounce in their step now.
Cook could not save it. And now the crowd at Cameron is starting to get into it. Duke can cut it to single digits.
Attacking closeouts, attacking gaps, forcing rotations. Now you're starting to see Duke offense where they want it to be.
Yeah, boy, Jade Williams got a good look at it, couldn't get it to go, and the freshman Lee Volker just came in and tied it up on the floor.
And Dawn Staley calling for a shot clock violation. Looks like the shot clock reset.
They are going to go over and make sure everything is copacetic with the clock. And boy, what a difference with the fans here as we take a look again. Did not hit the rim, and the shot clock reset. So they will correct that. But I remember the last time I did a game here when South Carolina came in, it was Colonial Life North. I mean, it was so many South Carolina fans, and it's such a different story tonight. Not just many more Duke fans and South Carolina fans. They're making a lot of noise.
They are, and look, you know, everybody's excited.
The last play is under review for a possible shot clock and a mistake.
Kind of what we figured. But that's new. The officials coming over and telling that we can hear it, and so can the people at Cameron, the Cameron crazies.
But saw that in the W this summer.
Yes, I liked it a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least everybody knows what's going on.
Firsthand.
Yes, keep everybody well informed.
Yes.
Well, Dawn Staley was adamant about it when she was asking the officials to look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Resets, and then more time goes off, so. Oh, it's a great angle.
Did not hit
the rim.
And it reset when there were 7 seconds left on the shot clock, so they'll take a look at it. Duke coming in 8-0 in the season. A very impressive win against Iowa a couple of weeks ago. Duke has not played in 10 days, by the way. Their last game was at Penn. Exams, I guess.
Yes, coinciding with final exams. Taking a break. You know, and we'd really be remiss if we didn't mention how much work these returning players put in last season.
Yeah.
You know, they played 4 games last season. Kara Lawson talked about the fact that every player that returned got better, new to the system. Their passing was better, got in better shape, got a lot of shots up, continued to practice and play scrimmage games against their male practice squad.
Yeah, she said every Saturday was game day, tried to keep it as normal as possible as one could during COVID, and you had the same situation at Vanderbilt, right? You guys
Yes.
played, what, 8 games?
8 games.
And then shut it down?
And she made a great point. Like, it's tough to stay motivated as a player when you don't have the game as your reward. And she really gave a lot of credit to these players for staying locked in and for continuing to get better.
Meanwhile, an extended delay here as the officials now are discussing among themselves what they should do, and a free timeout for both Coach Staley and Coach Lawson.
Shoot, if you're Kara Lawson, you had the momentum.
Yeah.
After review, there is no shot clock violation. Play will resume with a jump ball to South Carolina.
Well, they had to go through and likely look at how much time ran off and if it would have been a shot clock violation prior to the jump ball or not. And the review showed that the jump ball happened first.
Yep. Would have had to be 7 seconds. We remind you we have a basketball doubleheader for you tomorrow on the women's side. We will be about a half hour away, and it is at 6 Eastern.
Oh, good
Alyssa
job.
Cunane and number 2 NC State host number 17 Georgia. Looking forward to that at Reynolds. And then Kiana Smith, Haley Van Lith, the rest of the Louisville Cardinal take on Eastern Kentucky right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. One tap. Some good teams here. North Carolina unbeaten. Unfortunately, their game today was canceled because their opponent is having some COVID issues. Duke is unbeaten, at least for now. And Georgia, NC State.
And that's going to be another great matchup. And Muffet McGraw had mentioned that matchup, and we'll talk about that when we get back from break.
Hey, let's take a timeout. We'll be right back. Dawn Staley, a little bit cranky. Her team has missed 7 of its last 8 shots. Duke has cut this down to a 10-point ball game. Kara Lawson's team outscoring them by 6 in this quarter. She has about 40 seconds left to go. South Carolina unbeaten and number 1 team in the land. Littleton was hot in the first half, has that one rim off. Ami here, fouled on the follow.
That was much better ball movement for South Carolina in that possession. Multiple players touched it, it didn't stick, got a good look. And anytime you've got that zone in rotation, again, opening up offensive rebounds.
That was the 17th offensive rebound for South Carolina in this game. Duke only has 18 as a team.
We've alluded to their length and their size, but they're quick to the ball, and every one of them pursues. They don't just wait for an offensive rebound to come to them. They go get it.
Relentless. Rebounding is what percent want to?
100% want to.
All right, shot clock's off now for Duke. Dave Wilson with Cardozo in front of her, passes it off. Another rebound for Cardozo. Zai Cook, can she get a shot off in time? Yes, but it does not fall. So Duke outscored South Carolina by 5 in that quarter.
They found their range. Knocking down from the three-point line. Celeste Taylor gets it going for Duke. In this second half so far.
Yeah, it's funny how those two things seem to go hand in hand. You see the big difference between the first and the second half. Lexi Gordon is 2 of 6 from distance. Came into this game missing 16 of her last 17 from 3. But South Carolina, no field goals now in 4 minutes.
And this is really where you miss your point guard. You miss Destiny Henderson on the floor to get everybody synced, to get everybody in rhythm, to get everybody together, to make the right play. You just see they're just disjointed on the offensive end.
And Zia Cook has missed 11 of her 12 shots tonight. Dave Wilson, I like this kid.
Too easy. I do too. She's got a bounce in her step. She's got a confidence. Her teammates trust her. She can create. At the end of the day, you got to have ball handlers. You got to have guards who can just make plays. Who is that going to be for your team? And Day Wilson is exceptional.
Got it down to a single-digit lead for the first time since there was 4 minutes left in the first quarter. South Carolina led by 16 at the half. And we here hesitated. Cook continuing to shoot and continuing to miss. Taylor beats everybody down the floor. Look at this, it's a 7-point game.
That's the easiest shot they've had all game long. Really great opportunity in transition off of a long three-point shot.
Boston had it taken away beautifully by Gordon.
And you can see Kara Lawson wanting Duke to push pace.
Day Wilson, this place would have exploded if that went in. She's got such great range. Aaliyah Boston, another double-double now with 13 rebounds and points. Day Wilson comes over to help. Boston able to spin away from danger.
But staying on balance, right? Staying mobile, being able to use her pivots. Boston's got to be careful about putting that ball on the floor, though, because Duke is coming.
Boston with another block. Her third. She had 7 of them against Maryland the other day to go along with 16 points and 16 rebounds.
Look how South Carolina, that's the first interior pass they had that wasn't a post entry. But that's again where you miss Destiny Henderson attacking gaps, forcing rotations.
Boston cashed it in. Timeout, South Carolina back up 11.
Carolina up 11 on Duke, and in large part because of Aaliyah Boston. She has been dynamic. She's knocking it down from deep. She's staying on balance, showing her array of moves inside. Every time she touches the ball, there are multiple white jerseys around her, and she's able to make the right play on time, exactly when South Carolina needs it.
Steph, Dawn Staley had a conversation with Aaliyah Boston after the Buffalo game in the Bahamas, and Coach told Aaliyah she was not dominant enough and challenged her to have pride in who she is. And Aaliyah told me that before she steps on the court for practices and games, she thinks of that conversation. We've seen 2 buckets from her and a steal. That pride is showing up.
It sure is, and that's important. You know, great players want to be coached. Great players want to be challenged. There's a lot of players who say they want to be coached and challenged that don't really want it. But great players do, and Aaliyah Boston is showing that she is a great, dominant player who craves the next level.
And she just totally saved that possession. The pass going into Saxton, who had turned her back to set a screen. Boston picked it up, went under the bucket, and scored. Very special player. Her 35th career double-double, 5th in 6 games, which started with the convincing win over Connecticut. They will play them again on January 27th. South Carolina will. Good child, that's what she does.
And that was a really headsy play by De Jesus to be able to keep her dribble alive on the baseline and find the shooter.
Good child had 11 against South Carolina in her sophomore year when these 2 teams played. South Carolina has dominated the series lately. Oh, Cook needed that one.
She had a little more lift on that shot. There was a closeout with a hand up, had to get a little bit more lift.
She had missed her first 7 threes before that one came in, or went in. And missed 13 of her first, or 12 of her first 13 shots overall, pardon me. De Jesus short. Good save by Beal. Didn't even think about shooting. Dawn Staley in her sparkly sneakers, giving direction to Ami here. Shot clock at 5. Here we go. There's the Zia Cooke we're used to seeing.
Well, we've seen this from Zia Cooke. She was in foul trouble in the first half against UConn and came out in the second half, made some big shots. She can get hot in a hurry.
Coming off a big 20-point game against Maryland, in which she scored her 1,000th career point. Gets the lead back up to 15. Duke had cut it to 8. Good work by Williams, but Boston's there.
Yeah, it's tough to give Williams the ball going one-on-one against Boston. When Duke was successful, Williams was out on the perimeter facilitating, bringing Aaliyah Boston away from the rim. They were running a lot of that split and cut action.
Timeout, Dawn Staley.
Just when Duke starts to close the gap, South Carolina has an answer, and that's a hustle play by Aaliyah Boston. Went and got an easy 2, and Zia Cooke is starting to heat up for the Gamecocks. Knocks down the first 3 of the ball game. And then the little pull-up. Look at the elevation. Quick off her feet, knocks it in.
Cooke, the junior from Toledo. He's come up large against ranked teams, averaging 18.5 points per game this year. And again, South Carolina's played a ton of ranked teams. 4 games against top 10 teams. They're 4-0. They will play Stanford next. That will be yet another one. And South Carolina, during this run, Duke cut it to single digits. South Carolina's hit their last 5 shots after a prolonged drought. Cooke went by Taylor and took steps.
Well, South Carolina is a team that you know is always going to bring it on the defensive end of the floor. I mean, that's the identity of Dawn Staley's program and each one of her teams. You know, she says that this could be one of the best, certainly one of the most versatile defensive teams that she's had. And they have the pieces on the offensive end of the floor, but continue to be a work in progress. And getting Destiny Henderson back will be a huge key for them.
Day Wilson wanting a foul, none called. She also likes the accountability of this team. So she's had teams in years past when they mess up and they're like, no, it wasn't my fault. But you probably heard that a couple times. But with this team, she said that they take accountability before sometimes her staff has a chance to get on them. They're like, yep, I'm sorry, apologize to teammates for messing stuff up.
And have an awareness of their strengths and weaknesses and one another's strengths and weaknesses.
That time Day Wilson does indeed draw a foul on Cooke. Just the first for Zia. Carol Lawson knew this was a tall mountain to climb coming in 8-0. Iowa, the only other ranked team they have played this year, beat them convincingly, surprisingly to me. Big win for Duke. Learning moment for Lee Volker, the freshman.
Well, this is a Duke team that's still a work in progress as well. I mean, 9 new pieces, 7 transfers. They have experience. They have experience in big games, but learning how to grow together and gel together. And we're starting to see their offensive identity. What's their defensive identity? It's a work in progress.
Absolutely, just their 9th game together. Next game they will be at Miami, and then their next league game is at Virginia Tech. Tech's a good team. That'll be a challenge as well. Long shot missed by Boston. Another offensive board. Saxton couldn't cash. Day Wilson.
Great hesitation, great change of pace, but when you get 2 defenders, good steal by...
Now that's probably the best sequence of offensive rebounding for Duke, but they couldn't get a bucket.
Well, you had mentioned the teaching moment with Kara Lawson and Volker. And Volker, an opportunity for a big play right there.
Now Duke's turn to go cold. They haven't scored in almost 4 minutes. Still playing defense, Celeste Taylor. Got a hand on it. and eventually came up with the ball. Inside 2 minutes left to go. Oh my goodness! Cheyenne Day Wilson.
Exciting player.
Wow, what range, and especially for someone who's, and now she's being pesky. Look at that matchup with Day Wilson and Ami here. Ami here at 6'4", Day Wilson at 5'6" on a good day. Another takeaway for Duke, but then they give it right back, but still. And the fans here appreciating the hustle by these Blue Devils.
Yeah, the grittiness on the defensive end, the activity level on the defensive end. You know, you can't come away with those empty possessions once you do get the turnovers, but you see the difference in Ami here at the point guard position and the pressure that the guards are able to put on her because she's not used to that.
Right.
So now Dawn Staley using Littleton and Zia Cook in the backcourt to handle it.
Day Wilson just picked up her second foul. Can I start a campaign that I'd like to see her start for Duke?
You can start that campaign.
Might be a lonely one, but no, she's exciting. And again, a true freshman, has some experience playing for Canadian national teams, which always helps, right?
No question about it. But sometimes as a team, you need that punch off the bench.
Yeah, that's true.
Who's going to be the punch? Who's going to be the lift? Who's going to elevate?
Foul away from the action. Williams hanging on to Boston. Leah Boston, 19 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks. With a minute to go at Cameron. We start to hear from some of the South Carolina fans who made the trip. Cook got a block by Williams.
What a great play by Williams.
And Williams known for her defensive expertise. And a shot clock violation.
Look, if you're Duke, I mean, you got to be really happy with getting yourself back in the ball game right here. You've still got an explosive scorer in Day Wilson on the floor.
Yeah, there's some good days ahead for this Duke team. Volker nice to Williams, who couldn't get it to go. And the 53 points scored by South Carolina tonight, by far their fewest of the season. They scored 65 against Kansas State, 66 in their last game against Maryland.
And it's a growing moment, and this team showing a lot to withstand what they did in the first quarter. I mean, didn't shoot the ball well at all, really struggled, continued to chip away, continued to find and stay in their flow, in their rhythm, stick to the game plan.
And with just under 26 seconds left to go, Dawn Staley has cleared her bench. Now, South Carolina's only shooting 35% from the floor. This is a team that averages 75 points a game. With a subpar offense. Day Wilson, starter.
South Carolina right now, you just have to be disciplined right there and just contest a shot, but give an opportunity for a 4-point play.
Wow.
So if you're going to start Day Wilson, who are you going to bring off the bench to give you that punch?
Day Wilson? Your point is well taken. Boy, this is an exciting young player. "17 points, her career high 28, that game that we mentioned where she hit 8 of 10 threes against Troy.
You know, you all are talking about Cheyenne Day-Wilson being a starter, and I actually don't know. I don't think any of her teammates would be upset about that, because one thing that Kara Lawson said is no one is jealous of Cheyenne Day-Wilson. They're all accept her, love her, really love what she brings to the table. I think that lack of jealousy is what's really going to help this team.
Yeah, and they trust her. I mean, they trust her. You know, you earn that every day with the work in practice. You know, she's a dynamic scorer. We've seen it day in and day out. We've seen it on display tonight. Had a little bit of a slow start, but she's explosive, and she's a type of player that fans get excited about. She's a type of player that teammates like to be around. You know, and she's another one of those players that she had originally signed with Syracuse and decided to open up her recruitment. Happened really fast during COVID, no visits.
I think what makes her really talented, Stephanie, you know, just as I watch her, her handles are really tight. She dribbles the ball hard and gets the ball from the floor into her shot so quickly. The time between the dribble and the shot is so minimal, she can get it off.
Yeah, that's a great point. Her footwork is really good too. I mean, you know, when she's very fundamental. She's a very fundamental player, has explosiveness, that athleticism, and strength.
High motor, certainly. Didn't get to Duke till this August, I should say, very late, after deciding not to go to Syracuse, staying in the ACC. Both teams tonight will have a season low in points and field goal percentage, but Duke just 7 points in the first quarter, 9 in the second, and outscoring South Carolina in the second half. Cause for concern for Carolina? You just sit there and wait for Destiny Littleton to get out there.
Dawn Staley told us we're a work in progress. And without Destiny Henderson on the floor, you can see their offensive flow isn't there. Understanding what they want out of the offense, who to get the ball to, when, how, somebody that can break down defenders, somebody that can push pace, somebody who can be that point and set the tone defensively as well. So, you know, I think South Carolina has been exposed a little bit. And what that does right now is that gives you January and February to work on those things so that by the time March comes around, you're not exposed anymore.
So it's not a bad thing to be exposed, right? Because it gives them something specific to work on.
Absolutely. And you understand where they are from a limitation standpoint on the roster right now, not having their lead guard, not having their backup point guard who's out for the season, and Raven Johnson.
And it just shows, too, just how important point guards are. Ooh. So Gordon saving the possession with 12.2 seconds left to go. Lawson, her staff, Beth Cunningham, Winston Gandy, Tia Jackson, who have been with Katie Meyer down at Miami to rebuild this program. Jade Williams, that's a charge. South Carolina going to go to 11-0 on the season. Duke loses for the first time this year. The number 15 team falls to 8-1 with this loss. They have Miami next down in Coral Gables. And we look forward to South Carolina Stanford. Stanford, another team that is searching for a point guard. Kiana Williams, such a huge part of that offense, graduating, and they have had some struggles at the lead guard. And we'll see if Destiny Henderson, who Dawn Staley said Destiny wants to play right now, but you know, you're a former player. You want to go, right?
Yeah. So sometimes you have to keep them from hurting themselves, right? But Destiny Henderson's a player who wants to play, wants to compete, but Dawn Staley and the training staff really want to make sure that she's ready for the long haul.
Nia Russell, a sophomore from Baltimore, gets her first points. And a timeout with 5.5 seconds left. So South Carolina already playing this brutal schedule, playing all the other Final Four teams this year, including UConn twice. This is what's coming up for them imminently on Tuesday on ESPN2. You can watch that game against Stanford. That will be in Columbia, and then the SEC starts in earnest. And then the big rematch with UConn, a team that they beat by 16, will be January the 27th. That's a heck of a schedule.
It sure is. And Dawn Staley's never shied away from competing, putting themselves in a position to be resilient enough and know where they stand when it comes tournament time. Great challenge for this team and this program.
LSU with Kim Mulkey in charge.
That's right.
A whole different vibe in Baton Rouge. Duke going to regroup and head to Miami, and then Charleston Southern and Virginia Tech. So a 3-game road trip on the way. We will see them often on the ACC network all season long. Day Wilson traveled before the shot. Yeah, tell him. So Leah Boston, 19 points, 14 rebounds, another double-double for her. Littleton and Amihere also in double figures. Day Wilson leading Duke with 17 3 threes off the bench, but the Dukies fall for the first.